Hey, One Tree Hill fans, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Listen to the podcast, another great one. The only thing that I have to say about this episode is this is probably the one show that I actually enjoy, kind of like the filler episodes, which I think like episodes like these are. But this one's kind of a fun one too. And yeah, definitely more fun than the last couple of episodes. I definitely agree with that on their assessment from the podcast. Quick note, next week's video is going to be a couple of days late. It's my birthday next week. So yeah, let's get into this video. It's episode 20, Lifetime Piling Up, season 2. Okay, so I have my closed captioning on Hulu, and it was just such a trip to see the introspective saying that we always hear from Lucas in Nathan's voice, and it said calling him Lucas. And Karen being all successful, kind of like Deb was on that, that first time Deb came into it last season, the first time we see Deb. And it's, you can see already that Dan is very different right off the bat. And Lucas is very much like Nathan-esque from last season as well. It's so trippy, but it's fun. It's cute seeing Nathan be in Lucas's role on the basketball court with all the basketball court guys. Such a trip seeing Peyton back in her cheerleading uniform. And Lucas is, it's funny because like Chad Michael Murray always played such like kind of asshole-ish roles. So it's so funny to see him playing Nathan's role in this. It really is kind of, it's like a mind fuck. Oh my god, it is such a trip seeing Keith act like an asshole. But I do have to admit, there is one thing they were saying how this episode does try to frame Dan in a very kind of losery light. And while it's there, it doesn't fully work because Paul is just, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like his persona of Dan that we all know. It's very hard to see him in that way, but it both works and it doesn't work, I do like to see the sweeter relationship that Deb and Nathan have in this episode, because it's like, because they didn't really have that so much in the other life. And yes, I have to agree. Oh my god. Okay, so the Nathan and Haley chemistry, even as friends, is still absolutely just immediately there. I do love when Deb's like, talking to Nathan about Haley, you two are going to end up married someday. I love that. Foreshadowing. And it's foreshadowing no matter what alternate reality they're in. I gotta say, Lucas is like so mean and nasty in this episode. It's like, I almost feel like he's worse than Nathan was. But again, it's probably just because I'm so used to not seeing him like that. So it's just a shock to my system. Brooke Davis from season 1 hitting on Nathan Flash like Lucas. It is so cute seeing Nathan act so like, oh no, I gotta get out of here. Bye. Oh my god. And it's interesting because like Dan is like still Dan, but like he's just toned down a lot. Let's put it that way. Wow, it was such a different confrontation between toned down Dan and Whitey. It was more of an even playing field almost. Like, not that Whitey can't hold his own, but I just mean in the sense that Dan is usually just so over the top asshole. And I do love what Whitey said, I'm an equal opportunity instigator. Oh my god, the picture of Whitey holding the trophy and it kind of like blocking Dan's face in the picture. That's great. Fake tattoo with a random number on it. I wonder, could that random number be 23 on Haley talking about the tattoo that she got in the Cracker Jack box when they were talking about the bracelet? Ass crack of a father of yours. Oh, Whitey, you do have some of the best lines. It's such a trip because like Dan is actually like way nicer to Lucas as Nathan than he was to Nathan, because they're trying to knock Dan down a peg. So like it's so weird seeing him like that. Well, this is one thing that the alternate universe is interesting on, because I guess in this way, uh, Karen and Keith would have been together, but they're a little bit different. I'm not sure that would have been happy either. Yeah, I guess I never caught that whole like, oh, I'd raise Lucas like he's my own, and Karen saying sometimes I think he is. And that was an interesting point. I was like, oh, what are we trying to say here? Alternate universe for real. Oh, Karen and Lucas's relationship is so strained in this. But oh, then I see Nathan and wait, Lucas, right? Nathan as Lucas with Haley, and it's just like, oh my god, they're so freaking cute together. I will say, Tim may not have been in a lot of episodes, but he did come through when he was. He was very good. He's so stupid, silly, but funny. Damn, Peyton's all like, retract the claws, Haley. I'm here to help you. Oh my god. Watching all of the things that Nate did to Lucas now being done to Nate, it's just like such a trip. And even with Peyton, like the whole replay is just wild. Oh my god. Tim and Skills getting into that little like fight. It's like, oh, okay. Did that happen in the other one? I don't think so. I don't remember. Okay, so it's interesting, like Peyton coming to Nate's rescue. It's like, it's wild because like I know like with Peyton and Lucas they had a lot of chemistry, but with Peyton and Nate I've always just seen like a friendship thing. Like it's just, I never really like felt so much chemistry between them. And right now she's like, when she rescues him, picks him up, there's a lot more, there's just friend energy there. Like I don't really see anything else. Like even though they're, I guess she's trying to make it look like that, but like I just don't feel it for them because it's kind of weird. Even though they were together in season 1, I know. Oh my god, when Lucas like touched Haley's like chin, I was like, sweetie, that just cringed me out. Dude, Dan in that freaking Letterman jacket is hilarious. I mean, it did like give him almost like an Al Bundy vibe, but you know, toned down. But it's like, I do agree, like, you know, Paul just can kind of pull it off. Oh, it's nice when Nate makes the basket. Everybody's happy except Lucas, Nate, whatever. It's like, so Karen's almost like smiling at the end of this game, which is interesting. And then like there's Dan when he's all like shaking his head and walking away from Lucas. Then everyone's kind of being nice to him, and I love Haley giving him the bracelet and it turning into the ring. It's like, oh, is he coming out of his coma? I do love when she's like, they haven't invented words to say how much I love you. And he's like, Haley? It's very bittersweet. Poor Nate. Haley's not there and he looks so hurt that she's not. Even though he said, don't tell Haley, which I still think he wanted people to tell Haley. Haley should have known. Yeah, the no brake marks on the track, and Nathan's like, did I do this on purpose? No answer. Here comes Deb. I love you, Mom. And she looks like she's just like so relieved to hear that, which is understandable. You know, Dan is always where he shouldn't be, and he's always everywhere all the time. And of course he interrupts like, do you ever think about if Dad stayed out of our lives, Mom? All the time. Boom, there he walks in. He's just like, oh, glad to see you're good, son. Bye. Like, what? Ooh, investigative Brooke. Figuring out that shredded paperwork. A receipt for a car? It is odd. And poor Karen, crying on Whitey's shoulder. Where is Keith? He needs to know what happened to Nathan. Dan telling Deb that he'll be there when she gets out of rehab. I don't feel that was comforting to her. And it's like good that she's going to rehab, but I do feel like it's weird timing when her son's like healing from almost dying. I mean, it's both selfish and unselfish. It's very weird. Okay, I'm pretty sure I blocked out that phone conversation between Nate and Haley of him telling her not to come home because that was brutal. And I don't remember that. I know they talked about it on the podcast, but I was like, what? Because I was just thinking, where is Haley? Why is she not here? And then she's like coming home, and he's like, no, don't come home. And I think he meant it like, like, hey, we have to chase our dreams. We don't, he said, we don't know what's going to happen. And I totally get that, but it's like, no, no. Were the writers still trying to write her off at this point? I don't know, but that's it for me on this one. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. And again, my video will be a few days late next week. Bye.